Evening, people. We are on our 11th episode of Facts Over Feelings. 12th episode, not 11th. We're on the 12th episode of Facts Over Feelings. And as you probably seen, this thing is growing. I've got more people on with me now. I got a co-host here. I got T1 and T2 with me this evening. T1 has been signed up. We went round for round one episode, and he's been back ever since. So they say you feed some chicken, they don't stop coming back. So I done fed him some chicken, and now he just keeps coming back for more and more.
Right, it was fried chicken. They had to slap that mama on there, you know. So I've been stuck ever since.
They can't leave us alone. So we thank him for coming, and thank you, Mr. Chambers, Travis Chambers, here with us this evening. He done signed on for some too. So we're gonna do this thing here. We're gonna do this thing. So
I just got a question.
Yes, sir. What's up?
What's up with this chair? We finna do like WWE or something. Like
back
in the day, right?
That's something this evening. So I'm gonna open up with today.
Okay.
Today is the 2-year anniversary of the Montgomery, Alabama brawl. So I had to bring the chair in here tonight. Okay, to know. Mess around and cheer, find out. Mess around and find out. So I had to bring the chair is a part of us tonight.
Hey, that was the day we learned to swim that day.
Man, I ain't never seen nothing like it, brother. I was watching the video of it earlier today, just laughing all over again. It was just hilarious. Honestly, and it's sad when we think about it, because when I first heard about what happened, and I heard it was white people beating up this black man, I'm like, that ain't gonna be good. And then watching how it unfolded, I'm like, okay, that was totally different. Didn't expect to see it go that way, but yeah. So here we are. As promised, we said we were going to discuss some Milwaukee politics. I'm just trying to get back to my page and make sure it's highlighted. Oh, yeah, it is. Perfect. And I can get to the questions and all that fun stuff. I did want to start out with this evening because a couple of folks had inboxed me some questions. And I wanted to make sure if you are engaging with us and you're posting questions or comments, I want to make sure that we do know that you are there and that you are a part of what we got going on. So I am going to go to my inbox here and get a couple of these questions so that we can get them answered. This question came from Miss Lori. She had a question on public assistance, and this was aimed at T1 here.
Okay, let's go.
She said, the question is this. It says, Trump wants 2-year limits on public assistance versus tier benefits as child ages into school. She wants to know, do you think the mother would have made it with only 2 years of benefits, although she's working with 4 kids? What's your opinion on that? And then T2, can you answer? And then I got Stacy here with me, my brother from another mother. Went to school together, class 04, Madhouse, baby, in the house. Yeah, and then we're gonna have Stacy give his perspective, and I'll of course chime in and try to moderate. But things kind of go off the rails. But hey, that's what this is about. That's what we do.
I mean, so, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Devil's advocate.
I mean, with the government assistance, man, that's been the keyless. I believe it's been the keyless heels to Black America.
Okay.
I believe the state created a policy where it was 2 years on there. You have to work, training, things of that nature. I think it's just going to be more on a federal level. Trump is going to be aggressive when it comes to entitlement programs.
Okay.
This is something that he ran on.
Why do y'all call them entitlement programs?
Well, I mean, when I say entitlement, I'm just basically saying the SNAP. I know the SNAP, the insurance thing, housing, things of that nature. It's going to be tough on that. And this is something he ran on. So 2 years, as in her question.
Yeah, she said. What
I think 2 years. It's cutting it tight. But within that time, and you have 2 years. We got to get individuals to come up with a plan to transition off of government assistance to be independent on their own, especially if they're able to go out there, work, go to school, things of that nature. They're not physically harmed, as in body, disability. So,
okay.
I mean, 2 years. I'm fine with 2 years. I'm cool with the aggressive movement that we're.
Now she said, silence your phone.
I thought I did.
Like we had the funeral.
She got in here.
What the pastor said for the funeral start? Put your phones on silent.
Right.
Flip the switch.
So yeah, I'm cool with the aggressive. I think 2 years is cool. Got to be aggressive with this.
That's cool. So you think that a mother of 4, for an example, would be able to make it with just having that 2-year cutoff? Because the benefits are helping her and helping that family.
Right. It's helping the family, but mother of 4, like she has 4. So when you had 1, you made a decision, then you had 2, then 3, and then now you're at 4. So then now, like, what I'm saying, if I utilize myself, I didn't want to put my kid's mother in that predicament, make sure that I took care of them financially. But at some point, we have to make aggressive decision to get these individuals transitioned. I understand she has 4 kids. That's something that you're gonna have to navigate. We're gonna have to navigate it. This is the realization. This is the realization to what he's doing. So it's gonna happen. It needs to happen if you ask me.
You know my opinion on it.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen if you ask me. It needs to.
Okay. T2, what you got for us, man?
We touched on this last week. I don't know. This is a question from last week when it came through, but the first part is, if you're gonna put that mandate in place, what is the program and the process again to wean you off of the assistance, right? And so that's where I land. Is I've seen nothing tangible that says, hey, we're going to implement this, but in the process to try and make sure we have a very high success rate, here are all the things that we can give you to get you there. On the other side, to Trav's point, though, there's a situation where you have an accident and then you make a choice, and then you have, by the time you get to 4, there's something, and not to say that this is particularly that person, but there are people who have multiple kids so they can get the largest tax return, and so that they can live off of the benefits of having multiple children and potentially child support if you have fathers who are present. And so some people do unfortunately play a game with their children in order to have some financial stability per se. So I think that it's partially government, but I also think it's partially the person. There's several situations where maybe you're in a long-term relationship and have 4 kids and didn't work out in the long term. It's not always going to be the worst case scenario.
Agree.
But there has to be responsibility in the action. And right now, I see the concepts of an idea. It seems like a good idea if we do it.
Yeah, there's concepts again.
But as far as seeing like a tangible, again, I get an example last time. When you have pain medication, they give you the strongest, and then they slowly over the course of like a month give you lighter and lighter. So that way, because you'll have withdrawal symptoms, you can't immediately cut somebody off from that. And so, I'll give you an example of a prime example of this in a different form. When I was working at Guarantee Bank years ago, they had some kind of a short-term loan program. And so like you could, as long as you had a paycheck, you get the short-term loan, and then you would get like up to $200 and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And so due to some government mandates and their inability to manage their bank, they cut the program, right? When I tell you that the phone lines rang from the time the call center opened to the time we closed, and I'm getting, how am I going to buy my baby Christmas presents? How am I going to feed my kids? I had people who would get their whole paycheck, pay off their loan, and then get another loan. It had became part of their regular financial cycle. So to immediately be like, yo, we're taking this away from you right now. No fault of your own. We just didn't do what we were supposed to do. So now we don't have it. Like these people are having full blown meltdown. And so you take that and extrapolate about however many millions of people get some form of assistance, you're gonna have a problem.
Right. And he's 100%.
But you said you like the fact that this is heavy-handed.
Right. It is heavy-handed because exactly what he said, that not having a program, you know who offer these programs that we pay millions of dollars to? UMOS, Community Advocate. These facilities that government agencies pay to wean these individuals off of these. They able to get assistance. They have caseworkers. You just don't get assistance and then don't get assistance. Don't
I know the whole process.
Right. You have a whole caseworker that's supposed to help you transition.
But the caseworker is also overloaded.
Right. That's my point. And that's my point. So you have these caseworkers. So they have programs in there. So they give this money to funding these places like UMOS and community advocate. Now, the top person that's running the whole place is probably getting 6 figures. And then you go down to the executives, down to everybody getting paid. So then what's left is actually go to the workers and to impose these programs for these individuals that's supposed to wean these off of if you're getting government assistance. Right. So his aggressiveness.
But that's not. But you're not winning them.
Right. But you have. He said we need programs. We need to get people to do it. They're not doing it. They're getting paid to do it. Trust me. They're getting millions and millions of dollars a year. You have Maximus on 76 where Evolve was at. There's agencies out there that this is what they're supposed to do. So if it's not working, not happening, now you're going to get the federal government that's going to get heavy-handed and say, look, this is what it is. So states, if you're giving fundings to these entities within your state, get them in order and then get them to do what they need to do. I can tell you right now, two of these agents right now is under investigation of the state of misusing the funding where the funding was going.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Oh, wait, right.
All right.
No, really?
I would like to play devil advocate.
Yes.
I'm gonna play the devil advocate's piece because statistically, just to clear the air, I sat back and I listened to both T1 and T2 perspective. I'm playing devil's advocate where I'm just giving out the perspective of the reality of what since we're talking about Black America and we're talking about specifically Black Milwaukee, the reality is for one, let's talk about when we say the accountability piece. Yes, we hold the woman accountable for having those multiple kids, but then we tend to not say too much in regards to the men that created those broken homes.
I was talking about
this last week.
Right.
Those 4 broken homes. So the way that I see it, and this is that I'm playing the devil's advocate.
Right.
My perspective of it is I see it from both sides. If you just wham a woman off a program that she's been getting for the whole consistency of that child's life, because you don't know, hey, yes, that woman party is working. Like you said, you grew up where you have multiple mothers. I mean, not multiple mothers, but your mother had multiple jobs, which is the reality of most Black homes where the moms, the pops, even if you're in a home with a mama and a daddy, the pops either working 17 jobs, he's barely there because he's working to take care of the family, and or both the mom and the dad is working.
Race you did.
And so now the streets had you, and the streets got you now. Right. So to me, to just say, hey, to mandate that 2 years, hey, we think after that 2 years, you no longer need that assistance or what y'all call the entitlement programs. I don't agree with calling it entitlement because statistically, white America and white women receives more assistance from W-2 and all of that than any.
But that doesn't
Black
change
woman.
the name. But it doesn't change. Entitlement is not saying it's only for Black. That's for everybody.
But when you say entitlement, we're talking about Black America. I just wanted to put it out there about, hey, that it's not just you, because you said it's the crutch of the Black Milwaukee is W-2. It's just, it's not the crutch. What the crutch is everything else surrounding that. You have the systematic from the rent side, from the housing side. You got it from this educational standpoint. Look at our school board. We have an entire school board that had no, excuse my language, fucking clue what was going on with books wise, that they were behind.
I mean, look, they
lost 100 million. I'm like, they wasn't licensed correctly, and had to let people go.
100. So
couldn't even do the finance. So
going back to that piece, we have to look at. We just looking at the one puzzle piece. That one puzzle piece that we think is causing all of the issues. When in reality, it's a multitude of puzzle pieces, including ourselves, because we feel like if it don't got shit to do with us, we don't have nothing to do with it, or we have
with a
handful of us sitting here that talk about it, but it's the delivery.
But we talking about entitlement,
telling people that it's entitlement, and you wouldn't
look at this
one ear.
Right,
you tell them, hey, the program that you get is getting.
In order for them to get
entitlement.
You get two things about the Black men. in order for them to get entitlement, the daddy can't be there. This was systematically put together years ago with entitlement program and getting government assistance. So when the broken homes was created, it was created because any woman that wanted to get government assistance that came in the United States of America, it was signed on that no father could live in a household. He couldn't have no address.
Yeah, we all know that.
Right. So hold on,
call it an entitlement piece?
But that was.
I just want to know why.
It was associated with that.
So when you say entitlement, because that's something that a Republican would say. That's what the Republican call it. That's what
I always call it
government conservative calls and government.
Okay, well let's say government assistance. So
entitlement.
Let's say welfare.
It's okay. It's
let's
okay
say welfare.
It's because your responses is that of
no. I'm responsible to me being a black man. And how I grew up.
But your ideology,
my mom, your
ideology is that of a conservative.
But my ideology is how I grew up. I'm not gonna see. I'm a street dude. I'm not gonna lie about nothing. I'm not gonna talk about nothing with the
being a street dude. We're not talking about being a street dude. But your views.
No. I get what you said. Well, let me finish what I'm saying.
Entitlement. That's a Republican.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Republican response.
I get that.
Republican ideology.
Look at this. I grew up in welfare. All right. I was there when the social worker came and had to make sure. Right. So when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about I'm not going to deviate or say anything that's untrue that I personally have not experienced because I personally experienced. So I'm not going to say what the Republicans say here or what any other black Republican say. I'm going to go keep stuff 100 to the point to where I personally experienced and where my mind thinking or what that happened to how I got there and to where I'm at right now as an individual. I keep everything 100. I don't deviate from nothing.
But anything of that. Your ideology of what you went through onto everyone else and saying, hey, that is wrong because you get in
my ideology could be on that.
That's a Republican conservative response. So what I'm saying is, and I'm not a Republican or I'm not a Republican nor am I a Democrat. I fall in between.
It's just a response, bro. It's just a response. You can analyze however you want to analyze it, associated to what you want to associate because that's your opinion.
It's not my.
But it's my response to what I've been through.
And that's what
I'm saying.
I'm saying it from a devil.
I let anybody that I went through understand what I'm talking about. I only want to associate and build that relationship with people understand the experience that I went through to where I'm at, where I grew up. If it's associated with this, if it's associated with that, I'm going to keep it 100. Whatever a person say, well, your response is that's your belief and your thought and your understanding. But if it's associated to what they're saying, it's the truth. I'm not lying. You just said you're right. Everybody been through that. So if you saying this right, and what I'm saying is right, but you associated because it's with the Republican, you said a response, you believe the exact same thing that I believe because you just said it was right.
What I'm saying is I'm coming from a devil's advocate standpoint. When your responses to that, when you say that it's that the welfare, which you call the entitlement program, is for the black people.
The welfare.
Yeah, so no, this is what we're going to stick to. What
go ahead.
So when I said I'm responding based off of what you just stated, I'm me as the one. If I'm listening to you saying this, and you're having this conversation with me or any individuals that I know that receives W-2, and you saying because yes, she had 4 kids. Now, as men, we know that we can never think from a perspective of a woman or what she's been through or how she goes about getting it. So I don't agree with men when we try to tell women what they should have, what choices or decisions they should have made, and or was bad, and that they shouldn't be getting this because of that decision. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you grew up in the streets. Did you because you experienced that, you think that all women who goes through that's an entitlement to them and all of that, because that's a lived experience. And because of, yes, everyone knows systematically that it was designed for that. But also, too, from their perspective, if that's going to help them get to where they're trying to go, you shouldn't consider it as what you stated as an entitlement or a crutch to them. Because, yes, everyone already know that all of these nonprofits here in Milwaukee are designed doing the same thing. So they all doing the same thing, separated. But we're not looking at that picture. We're breaking it down to the individual.
So now we gotta get heavy.
Because
Now we got
we're having that. We're having that.
Because you just said everybody's doing all this.
But that's the problem, though.
Right. Now we got to get
But now we're pushing it. No, it's not getting heavy-handed. We're having the conversation from the ground. We're not talking about it from what they're doing from the organizational standpoint. We're talking specifically about who the woman is receiving that entitlement, as you put it. So to say that for her, she viewing it. Yes, I have 4 kids, but with these 4 kids, those stamps is making sure my kids is eating.
How long do you want them to have it?
However long that they need it. However long they
don't agree with.
Hey, Cole.
$3,000. But here's my question. So here's my question to you guys, man.
But do you with it? The way that I view it, hey, if it's because at the end of the day, as long as they're using it, I don't care if they're however form that they're using. It's not for me to tell them how to use it. As long as they're using it and it's
the government to tell them to use it because it's taxpayers' money. So the government has to implement it.
It's their taxpayer dollars too. So when we say taxpayer dollars, all they doing is getting their money back.
So what about this, right? So 2 questions. Right. One, do you believe
W-2 they receiving is theirs?
There's some value in assistance at all?
Yes.
Okay.
There's value in assistance. Everybody needs the opportunity where it needs to start over or something tragic happened in their life, and they need the assistance. And their government should be there.
So here's and this isn't towards anybody. This is a general question.
Right.
Okay.
If assistance is taxpayer money,
right?
What do you think would happen if we said, hey, instead of paying taxes, just use your whole earned living income to sustain yourself, and you're solely responsible? You don't got to pay taxes. We just not gonna garnish none of your money. You ain't got to pay no taxes. Do you think that the outcomes would be the same? And my answer would be no. Because you're going to get more from the assistance program than you're able to provide on your own, right? So if that's the case, let people live off of their full means, and then there's no argument as to what they're capable. It's your means. So whether you bring it in,
but you know what? But you understand what y'all just said?
But how you put a limit?
Get rid of the federal tax.
Yeah.
So you gotta be on side of that, right? Y'all agree with that?
So
I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
he was
I don't know.
But that's what he wants to get rid of. He wants to get rid of federal taxes. If you go to taxes, I just went to Miami, right?
Yeah.
Right now, this whole month ain't no taxes.
Yeah, I posted that. I was like, the mayor should run on that. Like, right. Like they have like tax-free days down south. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and these Republican states, Republican hates taxes. Just to let y'all know, they don't like taxes.
No shit.
No. So when you said you want them to pay no tax, they like.
But it's like in theory though, right? Like, okay, if it's taxpayer money, like that. And I think that's for me, that's where it gets a little dicey, right? It's like you're taking more than you're contributing.
Right. So when you go buy stuff in
exchange,
so pay no taxes, but when you go buy stuff, you pay taxes. Because we gotta get money. We got a whole military. We got a whole military. We gotta be. We gotta what covers, right?
No, you gotta roll and shit like that. Right.
Nobody pay numbers.
It covers income tax.
He want to clarify this. He'll clarify this because we want to make sure you clarify.
I mean income tax.
Give me income tax. We got to pay some taxes for the road.
Or we gotta you gotta get the money to
sell. Where y'all gonna get the money from?
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all said no taxes. Where you gonna get some money from?
I mean income tax. My bad.
Okay, gotcha.
My bad.
Say please, let's clarify.
No, like let them go full check.
We say anarchy for real. That'd be
that's gonna be like.
Here's the reality, right? And I'm making a number up to a degree, but like the median income of like somebody in Wisconsin is like $36,000, somewhere like 36,000, somewhere in there, right? After you take the taxes out of that shit, you coming home with like 20 bands,
right?
Well, they say the average income in Wisconsin is $52,000.
Since when?
By the statistic,
Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
I'm like, when that changed?
No,
Wisconsin, absolutely.
Yeah. Milwaukee used to be that way, but I've been at Bridget Stratton
right now. It's 17.
So Bridget
Stratton, our minimum income is under the poverty.
Bradley, Johnson Control, those jobs was really created the middle class, especially the middle class for blacks. those jobs are not here anymore. So yes, it decreased it from where it was back then.
Yeah, if you look at our median income, probably from like 85 to 2000, significantly different than it would be like.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'll tell you, and we know this for a fact. Not even gonna look.
Did y'all know then that the city and the county was more friendly to businesses, small businesses, all of those things? Once we start
because we have a surplus. You can be friendly when you ain't cash strapped.
When you going away from that.
But the county always
money breeds opportunity, like any situation.
The county and the city of Milwaukee has stalled on their ways of generating revenue for our.
So how did they stop with the small businesses?
How they not stop being friendly with it? A lot of red tape.
What you say friendly?
Friendly meaning allowing for the red tape, the more access. Because did you know that your city is responding? Your city actually has a division that's supposed to be tailored to the small business.
We have one. How effective they are, I don't know, but we have one.
So
African American Chamber of Commerce, but we ain't gonna go there.
Or the Black Chamber. Also confuses me, but that's a different conversation.
Right.
Like, I was confused. I thought they were the same thing for like a long time.
No, and I
thought so too, but no,
they're not.
It's the name change.
I thought we conflated them. I thought we just called. I thought we called it Black for short.
Right.
I thought the African American Chamber of Black. I thought we just called it Black instead of African American.
Like you said, which is crazy.
Yeah, like
it should be one. You become more effective.
I'm sorry. Go. I do
want to touch on real quick because we did have a subject that we want to touch on tonight, and that was NPS. Stacey brought it. You segued us into that, man.
You don't want to know my personal views.
Let's start off. My issue
y'all really don't touch.
We don't even want to talk about NPS.
Let's go. Come on. So my issue with NPS is this: NPS is severely failing our children. To the highest 10th degree. It
was failing when we was in school.
A good friend of mine calls it
air conditioning didn't work in 92.
Right. Stupid since 1953 is his acronym for NPS, making people stupid. But NPS has been a problem for long. Like I said, me and Stacey here are products of NPS.
As am I, up until high school. As am I.
Yep.
So
I have career family members who are NPS staff, so my life is solid because of NPS. Regardless of education, the paycheck flowed and paid the mortgage. It still pays the mortgage.
Right.
So
it's good. Right. We give it that much. We give it credit for that.
NPS did make
you don't get no credit for shit else though. Nothing else. Now we have to dismantle that and start over from scratch. Yes, get rid of every last one of the motherfuckers.
Okay, so let me start out with T1 here. What you would say?
NPS, I really
let's throw out some stuff.
It's just where do you start?
Right.
That's the key. You know what I'm saying? I just hope this $500,000 investment in the new superintendent for NPS can come in and make wonders because that's a hell of a lot of money of taxpayers to pay.
Got a good track record of.
Well, I'm just saying that's a hell of a lot of money to pay one person to come in that's making more than the governor, the mayor, and everybody else. Which, don't get me wrong, our kids is like our prized possession to who's going to be able to grow the nation and go forward. So they're one of our most important assets. You know, that's why I would never abort a kid. I will always keep my kids because I know how a gift they are, not only for families, me, and the community, and everything and that. So, but having the right education skills when you do have these kids is very challenging for a parent, and it's challenging for me coming from NPS and to see what. And my mother worked at NPS. It's challenging to see what it is now. And I believe that this is something that we knew that was happening years ago, like he said. A lot of parents was making a decision to take their kids out of NPS and put them into private schools. That's when you had the Chapter 220. That's when you had all these programs that was created by Governor Tommy Thompson back then with Mesmer. And I think what he heard was a lot of people, and especially coming from the Black community, that felt that years ago.
You said Tommy Thompson heard people?
No, heard from people.
Oh, heard from people.
I said he heard from people, especially from the African American descent, because I believe Gerard Randall was part of that. If y'all know who he is,
I've heard that name before.
But
it's gonna come to me weird, but I've heard that name.
But I think it was like people was like, hey, MPS is failing. We need something. The guidelines of what they can do in schools. They was trying to take out the pledge, the prayer, and all these other things that was going on with the unions and things of that nature. So that's one push that was to do these private entities, and some of these private entities are part of MPS. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the school element. So that tells you there. Then when you look at the $142 million that was lost because somebody couldn't do their financial records, and then that happened again, and then they wonder why Scott Walker came in and did the Act 10 or came in and try to get an understanding of what was going on with the city, because
you had issues with that
right, but you had so many.
That didn't
you had more
schools than
right, but you had.
You're saying that
that
affected the teacher.
Right, but you had so many.
That made it worse.
I made it worse. Right, it made. But the thing about it with Act 10, before Act 10 was implemented, a lot of people didn't know that teachers. Which I was cool with it. My mama was a protege of it. That they didn't pay into their pension, and they didn't pay into their health care. Me as a factory worker that was working at Brigham Stratton and Harley Davidson or A.O. Smith, they took our pension away and flipped it over to 401k. So when you looked at these companies that was changing their format, and then the state tried to go to MPS and said like, hey, we got to change. We can't afford to give you this amount of money going to your pension, because one of the same things that was happening at the time, all these jobs was leaving at the time. So it was like a whole mixed bag of stuff that was going on at the same time of that. So that's one of the reasons why, one of the positions of Act 10. Was Act 10 a perfect bill? No. But it was something that he went to the teachers union. And I'm on record to say, because I talked to him personally.
That's right. You and Scott on first name basis.
Right. So me and Scott first name basis, because I asked him because I wanted to know. I didn't want to go through a middleman. I wanted to hear from him. And he said he went to the teachers union and told them to come and say, hey, we need to do this. This is not sustainable. Can you guys agree to this? This is one reason why Jim Doyle didn't run. Because the teachers union had him hostage, and he said he was not going to run again because they weren't going to support him to run for governor again. So the teachers union, especially MPS, which was one of the largest unions that had one of the biggest budgets, was losing kids. So you can't request $3 billion when your enrollment went down because now kids are going everywhere else. And then you got $3,000 to $5,000 working at 3,000 to 5,000 people working at central office and not in the school element. So, and like they say, he fixed it right. She's coming in and changing things. You know what I'm saying? So they need to get back. Right. So do I want to see more funding with this balloon surplus that we have in Wisconsin go to schools? Yes, because I want to bring back some of these jobs that these kids need in the school. Because when I went to tech, I had to go to plumbing, carpentry, automotives, and all those things. That's why it's called right. But you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. So even Vincent had it. Right. But Vincent had a lot of these schools. South Division had it. So a lot of these other schools have it. Those are the things that has to come back because, a robot can't do carpentry work, flooring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, electrical. Right. Yeah. Well, electrical work, these things. So those are the jobs that need to come back. Now, I would tell MPS to connect with Rockwell Automation because they're building a platform to where they do automation, which is the future job and the future manufacturing jobs is associated with Rockwell Automation. So we can definitely grow and make them better. But right now, yeah, they got problems and they got to get their stuff in order. So, yeah.
Stacey, your take.
My take on MPS, like I said, I know I do not agree with you giving anyone no superintendent, no management. I don't care what you're doing. That amount of money to come in to fix a problem that been broken for 20 plus years. And
no question.
I do believe in, go ahead.
If she fixes all of the problems in like 2 years, MPS is running great. Is it too much money?
No.
It ain't even. It's
give it
too much money. Give it a tier. It still will be too much money because it's to me the fact that if it took her 2 years to fix 20 years of problems,
that's impressive to me.
That's not impressive. That don't show
10% of the time the fuck it up she fixed in 2 years wouldn't be impressive.
We got to fire everybody.
Hypothetically, though, but
I know. But I'm saying like if somebody just in general to you, that wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be impressive. It wouldn't be impressive. It'd be more of an insult because that means for the last 20 years we have been wasting money and we've been having elected officials that we're voting on. I want everybody.
But that's not a detriment to her. You'd be disappointed in us as a city.
But I would be disappointed in us as residents
for allowing that to go
for
on.
us allowing. Those are the people we're putting. These are the people that we're putting in office. I'm not her. She's someone's coming from the outside. But I'm talking about that very board that had to vote to bring her.
That's what I was about to say.
For 20 plus years of us having fuck ups, and she fixed it. And if she's hypothetically fixed this in 2 years, it's a shame on them, but it's a bigger shame on us because for 20 plus years, those are the same faces we have been putting in those seats. Same people, those same faces that we complain to. I've never met a race of people that complain so fucking much and do so very little to fix the problem. We rather vent. We comfortable with just venting the shit out and leaving it alone and saying, you know what, that ain't my problem. But when we get people like you and I, they want to call us the Black Malcolm X's. They want to call us the Black Malcolm. I mean the Black Martin Luther Kings. In reality, how about we just four black men who just want to tell y'all, look, we just tired of this shit. We fuck with y'all, we fuck with us. Right. And we just want to tell y'all the truth. It's like we don't want to hear the truth coming from us because then they want to call you a house nigga or Uncle Tom, when in reality, Uncle Tom is the one that actually saved and that actually helped the Americans. But that's for another story.
I mean, it's here, so
you know, in reality, but when you tell people that, they be like, no, and shit. If I'm like you said, I'm the streetest of the streets, but that's here nor there. Right. But how I see it is that we just four individuals who care about our people.
Yes.
What's going on in the community, and it's alien because we're not used to it. It was designed to keep it that way. That's why if you read all of the whole thing of Willie Lynch, we still suffering from the syndrome of that. We're still suffering from the consequences of the Willie Lynch and what they did psychological, because it's more than just a spiritual thing with blacks. We are spiritual creatures. Right. And so people take advantage of that. They know that we are spiritual and we go off of energy vibes. So because of we so subjected to that, it makes us friendly. It makes us easily manipulated, even when we're not trying to be. We give everybody the benefit of the doubt before anyone give us the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to us giving each other the benefit of the doubt, we be like, nah, bro, he bullshitting, he lying. Sound like he lying or she lying, but. Let Peter or Paul over there say, shit, okay, Peter was right. But then we get to the cliff, we fly off the cliff. Peter would lie like a motherfucker. But let it be one of us. So it's like it's that psychological, and to me, that's why I say it falls all within that. We still suffering from the Willie Lynch and not being the only race who don't know our identity, man.
It's only a few.
We don't know who we are.
Yeah, you can't go ahead.
No, I don't have a mic.
Oh, you don't have,
you got a question?
Yeah, somebody just put Pornisha. She put big facts. My aunt Loretta, she put absolutely 100. That was to your comment. And Pornisha also said we had a great addition bringing you in, Stacey. So yeah. And Tiff Pitt says we definitely give others the benefit of the doubt. That is so true. I mean, look at any black person that tries to run for office. You know, we dismantle that person before white conservatives or white conservative media gets to them.
I was one of them. I ran for alderman last spring.
Boom, it's like quick. Like soon
people didn't know me.
Right.
They didn't have an issue with my ideas. It was, we don't know.
We're not
familiar.
Right.
We're not familiar with. I even had a few even saying, you were an ex-felon.
What they
got to do with anything? I got a governor's pardon. Right.
Somebody you got in your household right now.
Stop playing with me.
You got come on, man.
I put in
now
work.
Now right.
I got a governor's pardon. You can't tell me shit. I'm sorry. I don't allow for anyone to ever use that I've been in prison. Right. 34 convicted felon. And he was a fraud. I sold a little drug. He was fraud. He a fraud. So two different things.
Amongst other things.
You know what I mean? So
but yeah, okay. T2.
I'm gonna choose my words wisely about this, and I'll tell y'all why offline.
Got you. I think I know, but okay.
MPS, you probably do if you it ain't hard to figure out if you really keep up. MPS. My first question is this to MPS, right? Same thing I was talking about last time I was here. We seen communities boarding up and we did nothing. We seen the problem start and we did nothing. And now we're 30 years down the road and now we rebuild in the downtown district and now we're doing all these things. My question is, at what point did MPS start to falter? And how long did it take us to get here? Because I really don't know when MPS first started to show stress.
Bro, that's a good question. And okay, you born 85, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all us three are the same age. So that means we in the school.
I said about 1990.
1990?
If you think about it, I've never remember being in school where
that's what I was going to say.
I've never known being in school to all of the books was fucking outdated or they was ripped. We didn't have no air. It was
depending on the school you went to.
But But I went to high school in 2000. So I went to Nicolay in 2000. So from 85 to 2000, I was a product of MPS and what have you.
Okay.
But it wasn't that bad then.
Right, that's what I'm saying, right? So like, when did it start? Right, so like, if I would have went to kindergarten in like 90, give or take, like K5, K6, so that would have been like 90, 91. So from 91 to 2000, it wasn't great, but it wasn't this, right? Like, it definitely had some outdated books. It definitely was a little bit of a staffing issue. Like the classrooms were a little overcrowded but manageable. Like I'm supposed to have 17 kids, but I got 19.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
y'all was going to shit. It was 30
Lancaster and Morris.
My class.
Morris.
Well, at Morris, at Morris,
gifted and talented. What up?
Thank you, Morris, for the gifted and talented. I couldn't believe that when they said I hit the right ass say to get in this motherfucking school. I said, huh? But I got in though, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. You had to do that in I went to Juneau and then I left Juneau. I graduated from Morris, then went to Juneau, and then I had to take a test to get a tech. Okay. And that's why I went to tech.
Yeah. Tech was one of those.
Just something to chomp on. Right. Like when is I honestly don't know when people like
when to get to how you talking about how to
like when did MPS be like it's not a big problem, but it's a problem. And then it's not a big problem turn into a media problem, but it's not a big problem. And then with the medium problem turn into the big problem. And we were like, oh shit.
Auntie and the uncle and the cousins start hiring each other down at central office when family members start bringing in their friends and their cousins and they church members start coming down there.
It was
One central start going from being organized and professionally ran and Fufu and Nene from the block started
when they started losing kids. They knew they started losing kids.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the Chapter 220
and that in funding. You lose
funding, the 220 program.
Funding is one of the big problems.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, and I'll keep saying this number. You can't take 800-something million from
anything.
A funding place like that and then expect it to be able to run.
Yeah, but you ain't got the same kids.
Your boy
can't be getting the same money every year,
but you can't get
and you ain't got the same amount of kids,
which is fine, right? But
there's no way.
They basically give you off of each student in the school. Exactly. You got 200,000 less students, and you still want me to give you 100 million for them. It ain't gonna sit right because I'm wondering where my money going, right? And why I'm giving.
But it's a
we knew it. Like you can't do it.
Here we go.
This is where I struggle, right? In any situation, because this is always what it comes down to for me. MPS, let's say an average school has 300 kids, right?
Okay.
Let's just say I'm making up numbers at this point for easy math. Let's just say that school gets $100,000 a year, which we know is more, but they get $100,000 a year.
Right.
They cut it by half, so now school is getting 50. There, in theory, are 600 capable adults to support that school if it's so valuable. There's 300 kids. There takes 2 people to make a kid. There's 600 adults that can show up and be like, "Hey, I know how to play the piano, so I can come in and volunteer my time to do this or do that." Right. And again, back to the conversation. Oh, people are working. Life is hard. I get that that's not as viable as it was whenever. But we fail continuously, to your point, to show up in impactful ways after we can play.
Correct.
School systems are governed by the school board, but they are not managed by the school board.
Correct.
If the school lacks security, where are the fathers at?
Right.
If the school lacks,
they got dads on duty.
Like
with MPS.
Yeah. Like
I'm a volunteer with them with that. It's like, hey, you know, where they lack at, we step in at. If we ain't got security,
somebody will go.
And you don't want the police in the schools. All right, where's them uncles?
But
too late now.
But when you say that, and that's when you have the issue. So now you have the teacher union have a problem because you have a dad donating their time. Now this person actually supposed to get paid. That's part of the union. Like, whoa.
No, but if
you can't bring nobody in to do my job,
and they're volunteering, then you don't have anybody to fill the position.
But that you got this.
But the union don't pay for security guards.
What you mean? They get paid. No, the union.
They get
paid by MPS.
Security guards is the security staff.
It's paid by MPS.
It's paid by MPS.
Right. So they're part of the union.
No, they're not, bro. No, they're not.
That's for the teacher.
Correct. The resource officer is part of the union.
Yeah, two different unions. The only way they go to what I'm saying is the teacher union and there's another union because they can't be.
I'm part of them. I'm on the board of directors for the American Federal
Association. It's not going to hire nobody that's not.
So here's the medium. And I understand what you're saying, but here's A, I call bullshit, but B, here's the medium.
But that won't be an argument.
If somebody comes in and teaches a class when there's somebody who is capable, whether it be a sub or otherwise, yes, a union is going to step in and be like, hey, what is happening here? But if they're lacking general resources,
I get that.
They're not going to come in and be like, why the hell is his mom in here helping with the cooking? That's
serving the meals.
Right.
Like several days.
But here's my question.
That is an issue with the union.
But this is why I call
bullshit. It goes to other people.
I don't know, bro, because I'm in the union
and
I don't hear that plight with the complaints regarding.
So they would say
security parents volunteering to come in and pick up the lack where the school is lacking at. No, I've never heard of any complaints in reference to that piece.
So to that point,
so think about it. So if you come in, say the school be like, you know what, we don't want to pay the security guard. We get the parents to do it. So now this guy ain't got a job.
So first of all,
let me tell you how they go. That's
the scheme of the shit.
It will be an issue.
Security guard union, and then we can talk. There's no security guard union.
Listen,
no union. They ain't MPS. They don't get employed through MPS.
The fact that you are spending so much time talking about security in a fucking school is the problem. Do you hear me? The fact that that's what we're choosing to focus on in the school building is this security thing. My point, that's the problem.
Yeah, I get that.
The fact that we're here talking about who isn't paid as security guards in a fucking school building is the fucking problem, bro.
Yeah, it's a major problem.
Like, we shouldn't be here like, oh, the security guard do get paid. Why the fuck do we care about security in a school building?
Want to be involved.
But
I'm just saying, like, look,
how many friends you got, Trav, that's got kids?
You ain't taking no job.
How many friends you got that's got kids? A fair amount, right?
I mean, let's go 99 points.
Right, a majority.
Right.
Yours?
99.99.
How many you got?
Me, I got 3.
No, I'm saying how many like friends you got? Most of them got kids?
Most of them got
in
kids,
school?
Yeah, absolutely.
Likewise.
So how many people do you know are in the PTA right now?
Ooh.
Silence.
No,
besides myself,
I ain't in the PTA, but
I don't know.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying in and actively participating.
When my son was in MPS, my wife was a part of the PTA.
I know one person in my life who's in the PTA, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So to your point of unions and to all the conversation, join the fucking PTA. That's what the PTA is present
That's
for.
what it's for.
Correct. And why do you think that these outsourced schools, Oak Creek and all that stuff, why do you think certain stuff can happen, certain stuff ain't gonna happen? Because
they use their PTA.
It's gonna raise all kinds of Yeah, my son goes to St. Francis.
My daughter goes to
they don't play.
CP, I'm 36, and so I knew to be active because but
they make you be active.
But now understand this.
Marcus required.
But understand
this. In order for your kid to go to St. Marcus, in order for your kid to go to St. Marcus, they require
as they should be active.
I think
they require. If you don't,
I'm a firm believer in you being active in your kids.
You work in corporate America, right? or been on the outskirts of it, if not directly. Same and same, right? So I'm assuming that at some point, all of your corporate jobs had a board of some sort, or you've dealt with something that's had a board, correct?
Yes.
When you get to a certain level of being on a board, we all understand like the purpose of a board isn't just governance, right?
Absolutely.
The importance of a PTA is not just that parents are active, but the resources that are in the room of that PTA. Because when you talk to conglomerates that have it's the vice president in Nokia and the president of about who you have access to
with you
when you need things, right? So when the school falls short, the PTA needs to be somebody who works at Quad Graphics who can go and ask for whatever. It needs to be somebody who works at Rockwell who can go ask for. So it's not even just about parents being active, which is absolutely important.
Yes.
It's about the resources that those parents have in their respective day-to-day lives, right? So when we get to where does NPS fall short, for me, it's a lineage of things. It's a lineage of lack of active parents. And I'm not going to just fault the parents because they out here trying to work a $20 an hour job with a $2,000 rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have respectfully most of the parents working, basic level, entry level jobs. Right. So their network isn't anything of any real substance. And I say this with all due respect, it's going to be somebody who's a RN is going to be the hierarchy of their social group around here. It's not going to be doctors. It's not going to be executives. It's not going to be vice presidents. Somebody who went to school and became an RN and if they work as a traveling RN is probably going to be the height of income for their social group, right?
True.
And so,
or a manager at Walmart's or one of those.
I'll give you that, a regional manager of a company, right? But it's not anything where it's like, yo, our kids need a new garage to do mechanical work out of. And they're like, oh, let me talk to whomever about getting you, or can we sponsor, or can we build it and put their name on it?
Right.
We stop very short of resources. And I don't blame any of us in general. I blame the fact that we weren't taught the importance of networking.
Yes.
And by the time we get to it, it's really built on professional sustainability, not social sustainability, right? And so the thing that I came to understand when I got older and far too late was when I was coming out of high school, I was like, man, I ain't worried about going to college. College ain't going nowhere, whatever. I want to go out here and see some things, live some things. And
gotcha.
And when I got older, I came to understand that college has nothing to do with education.
No, it's networking.
It's networking. Where you go to college dictates who you are around, who you socialize with, who you have access to, and who you can call upon.
Absolutely.
And if I would have understood that shit at 18 and not 28,
definitely,
I would have done things significantly different, right?
Yeah.
It's not about you working hard to go to Harvard. It's about you working hard to get out the hood to go to Harvard because their parents are the fucking vice presidents and the fucking senior vice presidents of which puts you in a completely different social dynamic.
You got that connection that you need.
If you come back, right? Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you come back.
See, that's the thing. We don't like to come back.
But when I say about come back, I mean like live here. Like you can still help sustain things here while doing whatever. You can still do things and not be present, right? And I think that we and I'm getting off the subject to come back around to it, but I think sometimes we get lost in the idea that you have to be present in order to be present. And that's not the case. It's not right. Case. And to the earlier conversation that y'all were having, Milwaukee, and I was having this conversation with my guy the other day, and this really annoys me, is Milwaukee loses talent, right? We do nothing to get them back and we do nothing to sustain it, right? And when somebody tries, we crucify them.
Man,
Rico Love had Usher walking around fucking Mayfair Mall in at Questions at the height of Usher's career. Oh, fuck Rico, that nigga not from here. Fuck Rico, I ain't never seen that nigga in the hood. Fuck Rico, he ain't never sold no dope. Fuck Rico, he ain't.
Right.
Bro, that has nothing to do with the fact that this man has resources. And I'm guilty of that shit, right? When I was younger, he was beefing with Scales. Scales worked out the studio I was in. I took Scales' side. I didn't understand what was happening at the time, right? Right? And like, because my mentality wasn't rooted in that, right? So niggas running around here talking about trying to get record deals and they can't do this and music this and we need music theory everybody want to rap, and we had him. We had Tony Neal. We had Tony Neal had Lil Wayne and fucking Onyx at the height of Wayne's career. Had Nelly at fucking Rain. Like, oh fuck that, fuck Tony Neal. Woo, oh that and this, that, woo, this, that, the third, right? At a certain point, you got to look at what the fuck you complaining about against the reality of the outcomes, and does it really fucking matter, right? We got the mayor running around here, no shade, because I don't know how I feel about it, but this is not shade, this is just a point. Giving people days who ain't even from here.
Right. And
so proclamations, yeah.
You out here getting proclamations out. I get that. The one thing that did work out for him is that he gave one to Payne, and Payne has come back and did his concert here every single year since, and he's trying to expand it. But besides that, why aren't you making an effort to go find all the talent from Milwaukee who went and built a career and say, hey, we're going to give you a day because we want you to come back and start to sew back into the community. We want you to be more present. We want you to be more,
because they ain't paying into his campaign.
I mean, we know what it is, but we lose talent.
That was Chevy Johnson, Alderman District 2.
Motherfuckers will die on the hill of Atlanta. Niggas will die on the hill of Houston. Niggas will die on the hill of LA. Niggas will die.
Detroit.
People do not die on the hill of Milwaukee if they are not here. People will go and get a whole career and be like, nigga, I'm Atlanta till I die. Niggas leave Milwaukee and be like, I mean, I lay there for a little bit. Like, I was born here, but I was raised there.
Like, right in St. Joseph.
Like me,
hey, county. You look at the birth certificate, say Milwaukee County.
Right, that's it. Like, but people don't leave here and bleed here. From the black community. White community, absolutely. Because the black experience in Milwaukee and the white experience in Milwaukee are two totally different experiences.
Now you're onto something.
Now, going back to MPS. But with MPS, right, it all feeds it, right? Your experience at MPS is the first touch point that you have in what your desire is to love everything about here. My experience, which is one of the reasons I love the symphony, is when I was in elementary school, we had a symphony club. Like once a month or once whatever it was, we would leave, go to the symphony for the day, and then come back to school. That opened up my whole understanding and perspective of what was out in the world.
Music.
I ain't heard them all. I'm sure they still got them in a couple, but like, I don't know how many schools even still got music programs, right? Your first interaction with your city and your first perspective of the city is your school system and the people that you're surrounded
by. Music class,
bro, we was playing the fucking recorder, all kind, but I got introduced to so much random shit that I identify with now because of that moment, right? Like Penn and Teller. I got introduced to Penn and Teller in music class. These niggas was magicians. Right. I didn't know that. They was doing the music class videos and shit. Right? But once you start to work through that, and now you're on the other side of it, like, yo, here we are. I think charter schools are a detriment to MPS.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, I think how they're facilitated, how they're mandated, how they get money, but they don't have the same requirements nor the same checks and balances.
Correct.
It's bullshit.
Correct.
Because you ain't got to have a teaching degree
to work there.
A charter school.
No, I don't. No,
they just do a fucking background check.
And you good to go. It's like a job. You read the training manual and you go.
They don't even require you having a bachelor's.
And then that's why some of charter schools fail the way they do.
What was the one that took? They didn't even open. They took the bread and just got out the way off of Keith.
What's dude's name?
But like, it was like an aeronautical like school or something.
Yeah.
But like they put like the shit in the school and they repossessed the shit out the school and dog was in the wind and all kinds of shit. It was some years ago. But
of a Hampton, of a 35th.
I forget. But that to say, right? We losing money for one reason or another.
Yeah.
We, for lack of a better word, we're trying to problem solve it. We're failing at that because we try and problem solve by saying, hey, you just do what the fuck you want to do because we don't have time to really check it.
Oversight.
Right. Well, but here, if you can do a school
over here, we still trying to put
I would say on the scale of 1 to 10, it's a 5 in terms of its efficiency with charter schools. Holy Redeemer.
Okay.
Then you have, which I personally know people who speak highly of this. I don't know much about it, but the Montessori school system, is an entirely different program than what have you. And so trying to fix a problem by piecing the problem out is not a rectification, it's deflection.
Correct.
It's deflection all day.
And so I would argue that one of the problems with the charter schools in the grand scheme of things is that they have low numbers, but they tote high responses. It's easy to have high numbers when you only got to graduate 50 kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy when you got a staff of 20 people against 50 kids. Yeah, you got a 99.9%.
And then your requirements are
low.
Right.
So it's like, oh, we got a 99% completion rate.
And
Right. You got 8 kids in the classroom.
Right. So they can get
attention. They can get what they need. Like,
but don't they gotta take the standardized test for the state that they apply to?
I mean, they still gotta.
But again, if you falling short in reading in a room of 12 kids and you falling short in a room of 28 kids, your test is just gonna be different than that kid because you don't have the resource.
But if the state is testing the kids, it's the state that's testing kids, and they're not getting to the element to pass the state test, then they pull the funding from that school?
No.
Charter schools? No. That's why so many people have a problem with charter schools, like you said.
Because it's weird. Like they get funding through MPS, but they don't adhere to MPS guidelines.
Correct. Like they have to model themselves after an MPS, but a lot of the standards of that MPS is held to.
MPS is the one that has to agree for them to be a part of MPS.
Yes, but again, it's more funding. Like you meet 3 out of 5 steps, we'll give you the money.
So you guys telling me that MPS is like, yeah, you could come, we'll give you the money, you get these kids, and we're only going to give you this amount of money, and you don't have to follow none of our standard to get those kids, but
it's a loose follow.
And we're going to keep
that's the point. Right? That's the point of the charter school.
Right.
We're going to keep a portion that goes to MPS, and then y'all get y'all basically non-union, so y'all can do what y'all want, but we getting the money. We get to get the more of the money of the state, but you only get a portion of it because I was told.
Look at it.
I was told this
standards are very low.
They don't. I was told MPS. They keep a portion of the money because the money of the child includes the money of the child and busing.
Yes.
So what MPS does to the charter schools, they give up the portion of the academic and don't give them the portion of the busing and keep the busing portion to them.
Now that I don't know. I
don't
know.
Because none of them offer busing. You know, a lot of parents gotta drop them off. Yeah, no, like College Pepper Water that's run by on 35th. There's no buses. They gotta drop them off. No, that's part of MPS though.
You said college prep is choice?
Yeah, it is. No, they did add to MPS. I'm about to check. That. Right, but how long ago was that? Because I was told that they was part of MPS. Now they've been the last 2 or 3 years they've been part of MPS is what I was told.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So
that's all it might change. But
yeah.
Somebody said something. Was that Cresha or Cresha? Cresha. She said something happened with Holy Redeemer where they did lose funding at some point. It's been a while since she said her kid's been there. She don't know what's happening on it now, but she says she also thinks that some funding comes from a Bucks player that they have, and they have a commercial with a Bucks player.
I can see that. I can see donations and things like that. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, the minority owner is the pastor's
Valerie
mother.
Daniels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
she's a minority owner of the Bucks, so
yeah.
You know.
I can see that.
But yeah, so I mean, when it boils down to it, man, like MPS, hell, even and I say this, I mean, begrudgingly, right? I don't think any of us are out here fucking pumping our fists and being like, we went to MPS. We went to MPS, but like we don't even get behind the school system as byproduct of the program, right? My mother, like I went to this HBCU, or I went to this college, or I went to this high school, or I went through like people who go to MPS are like people are like, yeah, I went to MPS too, but people don't. That people don't beloved the school system, right? Like
I'll give you that.
All of that feeds into the initial problem for me, right? Because you have to love it to support it.
Like we love saying our class, but when it actually comes to actually going to that school and supporting,
bro, I've never, and I go to Nicolay, but like I'm hard pressed. I get a couple emails here and there, but like I don't get asked to come back or give back or.
Like I volunteer with Secure Futures. I teach that at Madison High School. I do that because I'm a product of MPS. I went to Madison High School. Mm-hmm. I also volunteer with MPS, with Madison High School, then also with King, but also with the dads on duties. I'm a firm believer in you can't complain and
not be present.
Not be present and show through actions. Yep. I'm one of those types that I'm talking plenty, excuse my French, plenty shit about MPS and how terrible of a leadership that they're doing, but yet not to be in the field with them
and not to contribute in any way.
Ass backwards. So I'm in the trenches with them. So I'm like, yo, I'm seeing what y'all doing and the way y'all teaching our kids, the end results from their test scores.
Well, I know most of them ain't even on that. Man, maybe you should tell them they should reach out to some alumni because, like he said, I haven't gotten anything saying, "Hey, you alumni, we got this program here, we got this program."
But again, it goes back to the PTA conversation. There has to be
volunteer coordinators, like all of the schools from Rufus King High School to Nicolay High School to Vincent High School. They all have coordinators. Volunteer coordinators where they want us to be coming knocking in on the door and say, hey, you know, I just want to be involved in there. I went to this school.
It lacks involvement.
They became part of MPS right in 2011.
Okay.
And it was due to growth and stable funding.
Okay. Playing with the money and then went to MPS and now MPS like, look, we gonna
keep our portion.
But we gonna keep that.
I went to Howard Fuller, their new building.
How was the one on our third?
Yeah, they got it was shout out to Maurice. But it was solid. Like I went there for their career day and checked it out, and then they had a back to school thing or something that we spoke at. No, on to be in a blizzard, but they got like a full blown studio in there. Really? Like full. I mean, when I say full,
the new building.
Yeah, when I say full blown studio, I mean like full blown studio in there. Like they put things in there that are now relevant to what kids are interested in now, right? And no shade to the trades. I'm a big trade advocate, but these kids want to do music. They want to make TikToks. They want to. And they gave them things that speak to the now, right?
They'd rather rent out an apartment before they have to build a house, but they'll do a TikTok all day.
You know, and I've heard things for and against them, and some of the things I'm like, ooh, and others I'm like, I mean, but you know, I think just the intentionality of trying to be forward thinking in that sense of like, let us put a recording studio in here and let's not cut corners. Like, yo, I know grown ass niggas who not recording studios that nice. Like, I know for a fact, like, right. And so
you don't even need a studio that nice.
Like you don't, but again, right. And this is what I think we had this conversation before. For me, I live in a world where, and I said this before, like I moved out to Oak Creek, not because I wanted to be out of the way. I just wanted to see cleanliness and tidiness in like your value is rooted in what you see every day. You don't realize that shit. But like, and to prove
even the air smell.
I'm gonna prove to you how inattentive we are. I told somebody the other day, they're like, damn, that's crazy. To prove to you how we pick and choose what we ingest, right?
Yes.
Tell me what's on, or tell me what symbols are on a license plate.
What symbols?
Yeah. Exactly. You look at license plates.
Wisconsin, that's about it.
Wisconsin.
There's 3 distinct things on that plate.
Depending on the new one.
You got like I think it's like a little bread tree or something. I know. I think I see like some trees and flowers.
You sit in your car and look at license plates all day. We pick and choose what we ingest.
Okay.
It's a barn, a boat, in America's Dairyland.
Yeah. Show the hell it is.
We don't pay attention to all of our surroundings. We ingest what we want to see.
Oh, they said that the Obama school, which used to be Custer, they had a studio for a CLC program. They made beats, recorded videos as well. She said,
I think
that's how her sons.
I think DJ Time was running that one.
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, DJ Time was a family member of mine.
Yeah, I think Time was running that one. Shout out to Time.
My aunt said it's not what you know. Be consistent, insistent, and you can attain your desires.
Right. She ain't never lied. She kept that 100.
Yeah, but it's so true, man. But yeah, I love what you said, T2, man. We have to have more pride in our stuff locally. Because we have so many musicians that have come from Milwaukee, like you said, that made it big. Eric Renee's another good example.
Eric Tank.
The first time I've seen him in the concert was
we got the talent now, but
it's like
we got the talent now with our younger generation. We may not like.
I was just gonna say we gotta stop that shit right there. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, but
the generation now enjoys the Big Franks and
we was listening to Punk Hole having a time. We was listening to DRE having a time. Don't tell me about Chicken P and what he said.
We were listening to Chopped and Screwed music. We were listening to.
We was out here listening to Baby Drew trapping like a motherfucker. Don't tell me about what Chicken P saying.
We were dancing to songs called White T-Shirt.
Bro, like
Yep, they're my white tee.
Like,
Right.
Give these kids their grace and let them enjoy their music.
I mean,
but
they rap about their environment.
We have to be
well, not as much as they used to. Some of that, like the ones that, but like, let's be fair, we fabricating our culture at this point. Like niggas are just lying.
Yeah, now they're living. They rap false lives that they never grew up on. Like they'll rap about I starved for 16 days.
And
your mama a doctor and your daddy a lawyer. Like,
yo, shut the fuck up. When your mama calling you, asking you,
yo, shut the fuck up.
I'm
gonna tell you who did that shit that blew me, but he wasn't super out of pocket. Nigga, Lil Yachty parents is like,
oh yeah,
they like fucking surgeons.
Yeah, they doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
They both surgeons. Oh, what's the one producer name?
Yeah, he was doing that shit.
He on Love and Hip Hop now talking about it. Never said he never ate McDonald's. And
Young Berg. He go by the business.
Yeah.
He was like, I ain't never ate McDonald's, bro. I came up with nigga like we had servants
we
and
had
shit.
catered food and shit. Like
and I'm not mad at it, right? But it also speaks to your ability to have access to certain shit.
Correct.
Like I'm not mad at him saying that shit. If you grew up and your shit was good,
that's what it is, right?
Like,
right,
man.
But also understand that the privilege that came along with that for you to be able to pursue,
right,
like that. But yeah, so
somebody else got a comment about MPS is saying that it is a lack of active parents.
Yep.
But you can speak about that, and I've seen that up close and personal. A lack of unity with the teaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely seen that because my wife works inside of the schools, and and admin inability to unify their staff because they do not hire their own staff.
They don't hire their own staff?
That's what it says. So I don't know if there's some kind of an agency that.
No, because I know for a fact that principals hired or at least have sane in their hires.
Maybe,
so I don't follow that one.
Maybe for a substitute teacher or something. Yeah.
Well, I personally know for a fact that principals have a say so in their hiring.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how that works, but principals definitely have a say so in their hiring because somebody tried to hire me at MPS once and I had to talk to the principal about the job.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm like, damn, you don't get no say so. Right. Teaching your kids.
So maybe meaning someone, maybe he meaning they got hired somewhere else and then they got brought into the school because the school needed people, so they threw a body in there.
If you still watching, please clarify that statement. Let's let them clarify so we're not over here.
Canned beats. We called into the carpet. Canned beats. Come to the carpet.
Oh, that's I mean,
but I've seen it. You know, and one of the reasons why I pull and people talk about folks that pull their kids out of MPS, but I had to put my son out of MPS because I went in there myself and sat in the back of a classroom for 2 hours. Me and my wife both sat in the back of his classroom for 2 hours, and it was utter chaos. The teacher didn't have no kind of control over the class. You had kids on, and I normally when parents come in the classroom,
you tighten up, right. You tighten up, hell yeah.
You know who it is, right?
Right. You don't know who mama that is. You asking, hey, who mama is that? Right. What you straighten up? What you
on? Putting on makeup. Doing hair, somebody was throwing a pencil at somebody else. Somebody took a pencil and stabbed the kid in the neck with it. One kid
wasn't the dangerous minds,
man. Getting up, walking in and out, teaching, and all this is going on. Teachers in front of the class reading a piece of paper.
Can't wait.
All this stuff is going on, right? Teachers reading the paper, and my son. Now I went there because my son was acting up. So now my son is in there. He in the desk.
I like you work.
Right. Going crazy.
Going good nowhere. You ain't never seen this.
You was part of the whole thing.
I wouldn't be
part of the leader of it.
I wasn't part of the leader. Right.
You would have had everybody in control. You was the leader.
That was all of us, bro. That was all of us. We all been there.
But okay, cool. But it was just craziness. So I even went to the principal and said, hey man, this is an issue. You know, this is an issue that you have, and this is what's going on in your classroom. I sat there and watched it for 2 hours, and I put notes in my phone and told him verbatim exactly
what you saw, what
was going on. And I'm like, if this is happening in this classroom,
odds are,
yeah. This is a thing. So I'm like, okay, let me pull them out.
Start letting the parents go back to the old fashioned ass whooping once they start.
Man, teachers with the ruler.
Not the teachers. I'm talking about allowing for parents because
I definitely want to open a school where staff can put their hands on kids.
When I was in school, teachers got that ruler.
Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like you run up on me as a teacher, I'm gonna beat your ass. Or I'm Like I'm,
you know
like,
what I'm saying? Back then, we didn't play
like,
around.
I need a school that, like, hey, we're gonna be respectful, but if your kids want to be grown,
just teachers just whooping on their kids.
That was back then.
If a kid getting out of line like you about to punch me and slap me, you punch me, I'm punching your ass back.
like, we had a school like that. We had a military school at one point.
You know, they took a kid can't even.
Something like that, like, but it was ran by like an old sergeant. Yeah.
Parents can't put their kids no more. They pick up the phone quick, call the police. They try to put you in jail.
Put you in jail.
Right.
Did you hit that child with an open fist? No, I smacked his ass
That's
across the face. You know what I tell you? I'm gonna call the police. But you know what I was say to that? Go ahead, motherfucker. I've been in jail before here. Help me out, motherfucker.
I'll be home for dinner.
That's it. Help me out. Because I'm gonna beat the living shit out.
Yeah,
right, but
that's the issue. I get it. Some parents go over the screen and really beat their kids, but you know, back in the days growing up, you know, we had to go get our own switch.
See, now I didn't agree.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Yeah, nah. I mean, I got them whoopings too, but
hitting me with a switch, hitting me with stitching
slavery.
cords. That's abuse, my.
Slavery.
I mean, that's abuse. I ain't talking about those types of ass.
I get that.
But you getting them whooping their ass with a belt or a belt whooping their ass, cool. But all that, you smacking a motherfucker with belt handles, you throwing shoes at me.
Yeah, I got my ass toe off.
I wasn't with that. That caused trauma to some people.
Yeah, I get that. So. But that's what back in it, like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm probably the oldest one
how
in here.
Turned out, though.
But, you know,
The oldest one in here.
Yeah, I think you are.
So that was the South, growing up in the South. That's how they did in the South. So it's like, you look at how that generation turned out because the men was way more respectful to their fathers or their grandmothers or the mothers in the house because we didn't want no butt whooping. When that started changing, when they saying that, you know, the chastisement was abuse and all that, you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Now these kids right now, these parents now are fearing their kids. They back then, the parents put fear.
I don't think it's just that.
We feared our parents. We feared our parents. Ain't no way.
Traumatization that we experienced going through that shit. Correct. I don't care what nobody say. If you got smacked with a stitch cord, got hit with a broom handle,
you remember it.
I think about it. And I know not to post my. I know why though.
I would never do that shit to my kids.
Right.
Like,
but
man,
go ahead.
But do you think that might have happened because nowadays they put it's the other way around with the fear because the parents aren't there because they're at work?
I mean,
like you don't have any structure at home. You know what I mean? When you take
that's the right. I mean, that's like you said. There's parts of it. I believe that is a part of it. But the grandparents that are, today are not the grandparents that was back then.
No, because they fucking 27.
So right, exactly.
Right, you know what I'm saying? 27. Great grandma, what?
Like, and to keep it. If we really keep it in the buck, and I'm really finna go off on the tangent for a second.
Right.
Like, we fucking 50 talking about 5 minutes. Yeah. Or 40. Like I
got a couple minutes left.
We fucking 40 talking about where the after said that, and I want hookah, and let's go drink, and let's go at your fucking age. Like, I'm not saying you can't go out occasionally. Like, you out here trying to get fucking BBLs at fucking 47 and shit. Like, me and my son shouldn't still be shopping at the same fucking store. No. Like, there's
I don't know. I still wear the
I'm not
clothes.
Saying that you shouldn't be clean, bro, but understand that I'm not gonna look at you as a fucking authority figure if you're acting like me.
Wait, somebody said, hold on now, hold on.
All right, hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He got on the Jags with the
like we not at a certain point, bro. Like the reason that we respected older people because they were doing older shit. Right. Like I'm watching videos and you and your daughter both shaking ass in the club.
You 60,
like
she 25.
You and your son out here blowing down together.
Yeah.
Like we respected it because there was a differential in the process, boss.
Right.
Like, nigga, I'm not walking around with my dad who wearing red robins trying to holler at bitches in the mall too.
Or calling you bro.
No, bro.
Never.
Like, I'm not. Like,
What's up, bro?
So understand that like it ain't even as deep as like they don't respect or we don't. You're their equal, bro. You're an older equal.
You trying to be their friend, but
you the OG. You not my daddy looking at us like.
Right,
but my boys know.
We gotta stop this. Like we're young forever, shit, bro. Be proud to get older and to age.
And I don't. But what has been? But when you say that, what has been older? What is the term or older person supposed to do? Carry like what?
In the way that
because I'm older, so you know what I'm saying. I like to dress good. I like nice cars. You know, I got a nice apartment. Like I'm older, so what do an older person supposed to do? So what? Right. So I'm mature. I feel that I'm mature. So what are you saying? What is different? I'm not
mad that you go to the club.
So I go to the club. Yeah, I go to the club. I go to ARJ was the time. Like ARJ, like fucking you know what I'm saying? So we older. We still want to go out, hang out, listen to music. We still like that.
But what I even listen to let me okay. I'll put you like this.
You club. What's the difference?
When I was coming up, and I would assume when y'all came up and when you came up, when all came up. My mama went out for sure.
Oh yeah,
like my grandmama went bowling or went and had her time.
Took me to the bars with her.
But there was a line that kids stay in the kids' place.
Correct.
Adult problems stay in adult spaces. Correct. There was a line where as a child I respected the fact that you were an adult.
Yes.
Right.
Now between social media, cell phones.
Yep.
Fucking broken homes, poorly managed homes, and etc.
Yep.
There's no differentiating line between an adult and you as a child, especially as a teenager or a young adult.
And that teacher.
Like I done watch my mama fight motherfuckers in the street. I done help my mama pay the rent. And I tell people all the time,
that's the thing, man.
When I was running the youth program I was running,
that's the thing.
People would be like, oh, you know, whatever about how to talk to the kids or discipline. Because I said, listen, there are certain kids that I deal with that have lived more life than me. Mm-hmm. I can't tell them kids that they right or they wrong because I've never been homeless. Yeah. They've been homeless. Yeah. I've never been abused. They've been abused. Yeah. Right. So just because I'm an adult doesn't make me the quintessential person to answer all of life's problems. Right. And use 18 with a fucking kid. I ain't got no kids. You know more about certain shit than I know, right? And so for me, it's always a fluid conversation with anybody. Because you've had a different life experience than me. You've had one than me. Yes. We're going to have overlap in some of our experiences, but I can't show up and tell you like, this is how you need to do shit.
Correct.
It worked out for me. It's not going to work out for you.
Yeah, I mean, where they at.
Like I'm a militant motherfucker. You a lackadaisical motherfucker. We're not going to be able to have the same approach to shit.
Correct.
You got 3 kids. I don't. I can risk it all. You can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we keep showing up with kids specifically, but in general, but with kids. And we're like, you need to be this way. You need to walk this way. You need to look this way. Nigga, I just literally helped you pay rent. The fuck are you talking about?
Right.
I'm 16 with a job and I'm not buying shoes. I'm keeping the water on. The lights is in my fucking neck.
Like I said, my wife has worked with kids and they have come to school and say, I'm tired. Why are you so tired? I was working last night because I had to pay the rent for the month. I'm like, what?
So that's part of the like, nigga, when I didn't, nigga, when I went to go get a job, it was to build character and buy whatever the fuck I wanted.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it, like I had
not for me, it wasn't. It was for survival. So,
right,
you know,
right. And so again, right, what I was just talking about.
What he just said. Yeah.
And so, like, I can't come to you and be at whatever age you are, 16, 17.
I was working since 11.
And be at 11.
That should be traumatizing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to be doing.
So when I went to London, I was like 28, I think, at the time, and I stayed in a hostel. And when I stayed in a hostel, like I did a bunch, nigga, there's hostels that are like Hilton level hostels, boss.
What?
Like I had a fucking time.
Like the first thing I went to
the movie. Everybody goes to the movie.
Right.
No,
bro, Charlie Sheen did that commercial. Like, understand, this hostels out here, they're like 5-star.
Whoa. Okay.
Right. So I was like, I'm gonna check this shit out. So when you get the hostel, you can pick how many people are in the room with you. Okay. So you can have a 2-room up to like, I think 18 people. And it goes in increments of, I think, 2. So my room was 4 people.
Okay.
So when I went, it was 2 girls from Australia. And we were talking about just differences in their culture and our culture and like whatever. They was cool as shit. And they were like, yeah, like, you know, my homegirl lost her job and I really wasn't happy with my job. So like I quit and like we just decided to backpack through Europe. And I was like, how old are y'all? And they were like 20. And in that moment, I came to understand everything that's wrong with our culture and our community.
Yeah.
I'm like, at 20, that was never even a thought, let alone a possibility. Right. They were like, oh yeah, like we're good, but like our parents said, like they would support us or whatever, like to a degree to like whatever. And I was like, that's what your 20s are supposed to be. That's what it's
fact finding.
Like they've like, if I remember correctly, I could be lying, but if I remember correctly, they're like, yeah, like we didn't get a job until we were adults, like after we were out of college. They're like, all we had to worry about was being young adults, kids, whatever.
No worries.
And I was like, bro, every fucking black man that I know was told that they had to get a fucking job as soon as you could go get it.
That's what we were conditioned to do.
You get the fuck out of
my
house.
Like, get out.
Or get out.
Yeah.
Then,
when you turn 18, can't wait for you to turn 18 for you to get out.
As soon as the work permit kicks in, like work permit kick in, go get you a job. You got to get a job.
Like,
builds character. And so my problem, in off subject but on subject, my issue with school and my issue with college and everything is that I've always perceived the school system to set you up to be a 9-to-5 person. There's consequences for being late.
Yeah.
There's consequences for handing your in. Like school is structured to put you into the workforce and leave you there. It doesn't teach you creativity. It doesn't teach you free thinking. It teaches you that there are consequences for not doing what you're told.
Depending on the school you went to.
All the schools I went to. Like that was the general structure, right? Like Nicolay had a little bit more freedom in it, but also look at the clientele of the students and the parents that were at the school. But nonetheless, like everything is set up, and I always say this, by MPS, every school I've been to, unless there's a new one, looks like a fucking prison. Instead of a fucking bar, it's a door. Like, but the cinder block walls, the fucking long hallways, the fluorescent lighting, it's all set up.
Tiny floors.
It's all set up to condition you to be prepared to run the system.
Yep.
And I've never liked the system, so I was always bad at school. The only time I was good at school is when I made the decision for myself to go. When I made the decision for myself to go to college, it was the best academically I'd ever done. But it was the first time my entire life where I got to choose where I went, what time I went, what I studied. Like I had full authority over it. And so like my issue with the school system that is not, and I'm a night person, right? Like my day goes from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. So nigga, I hated waking up at 6 a.m. to get to school because I'm not a morning person. So the system wasn't ever built for me to succeed anyway, because that's not who I was.
So you get in class, you already in the mood.
Yeah, like because I'm not a morning bro. Literally in high school, bro. By the time I grad, every year I got more responsible for getting myself to school. Senior year, I had 123 targets. Like I was, but this, like if I had went to night school for high school, I probably would have been a man out here. But I'm a night owl. But you're structured to be taught to wake up, to get there,
on
to
time.
be present on time. And so like you have to at a certain point, and I know it's hard, like you got to structure fucking education to the person who's learning. Like it's not this one size fits all thing. Standardized testing. Not I'm a horrible test taker, but I'm a practical person. You tell me the same problem, but tell me to do it physically or to move some pieces around, I'll nail it. You tell me to read a multiple choice question, I'm probably gonna tank it every time. I'm gonna overthink it. Well, it said at instead of the.
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It said we instead of us.
Yes. Same
like, and so, but if you say, hey, go take that engine apart instead of putting it on paper, I'm gonna take it apart and put it back together, no problem. And you have to nourish people in the ways that they receive shit.
Yeah.
I'm hands-on. I'm not a reader.
That's how I am with people when I'm, because I teach real estate at MATC. I'm a firm believer in teaching people where they good at. Not everyone good at just reading a bunch of papers and being able to apply
comprehend
what the hell they just
Some people
read.
are visual.
Right.
Some people are visual where I can tell them all day, boom, show them exactly.
I said that loud. I'm sorry.
You ain't shit.
That's for another topic.
Another topic.
I will not.
You won't be here?
Not
I will be available. I'll be available next week. Where you going?
I said I went to Miami. I'm not going nowhere. I just got another whatever obligation.
So yeah, next week then I think we can. I want us to touch on Black families. And just
that's a good topic.
Yeah, Black families.
I'm trying to
with our
build a Black family
right now. No way, because I ain't got no family. Just me and my house by myself.
I
got a fish, a cat, a dog. I ain't got nothing.
Black families.
Just
I'm
me
like,
and my
okay,
depression.
I'm a family now, but shit, I got about 17 black
Yeah, you definitely need a female perspective.
I want to make sure I do this one right.
Yeah.
We got a female.
Bring your girl with you.
Yeah. We got a female.
No,
Right here. No, I just want to touch on.
No, we're black family. The way
I said.
I'm not talking about
So when I say-
traditional black family.
When I say black, I'm not talking about.
So if I fail, I want to blame it on everybody that's out there.
So
One more.
okay. So when I say black families, I mean we're talking about, and I meant I should have been fully
Sure,
open.
right.
That like with our children, what's going on with the kids,
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, we got
and is that something that we need to look at on ourselves as black men?
Most
You
definitely.
include, even though you don't have kids, but you're still a black man.
I mean, I got like 5 that I kept from a youth program that are now like 23.
They
Like
ain't no
they just
possible.
adopted me and I adopted them.
Yeah, no possible.
Yeah, so
I
that's
ain't
what
got no
I'm
possibles. I done had a couple scares, but no possibles.
That's what
I don't know.
That's what I want to talk about.
I used to have a saying, man. I played for the Packers, not the Bears, man. That's why I went so long before mine came. Man, I was a strong believer in that. I didn't care how drunk I got.
Yeah.
Look, if I ain't had that Packer with me, shit, we was good. We go to the gas station. Hold on, give me a second. You fall asleep. You fall asleep. Hey, I'm gonna come back, knock on the door. You don't ask. I see you tomorrow.
That's hilarious.
Man, I was serious about that.
Yeah,
No
that's
kid.
cool. Next week.
Yeah, that's we'll talk about that because we got a lot of violence, and I think some of that is perpetuated by the media. Honestly, because we got other stuff going on in the city, and we don't see a lot of that. But when our kids is out here doing whatever, it's on constantly. So I do want to just talk about where a lot of that is coming from, and then from black men and black fathers'
For
perspective.
sure.
Yeah, shout out to the black fathers, man.
yeah,
We out
yeah.
here.
So thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all. Remember, a chair is still a chair, even if no one is sitting there. Y'all have a good night.
Salute.
Look at.